Yep, Skip's Cowboys won yesterday, but they still had 13 penalties, nearly double what the Giants had. They also are tied for the most penalties this season, and under Mike McCarthy, this has been an ongoing issue. Dallas tied the NFL postseason record for penalties in that playoff loss last season to the 49ers with 14. Shannon, will penalties eventually be the Cowboys' downfall this season?
Well, I think it's going to be the inconsistency, and penalties fall up under the umbrella of being inconsistent because you look at what they were able to do. I think they had very few, maybe 2-3 penalties when they played in Minnesota, and then at home. Now, you think on the road where it's going to be loud and you can't hear, and you get receivers getting false starts, you get CD getting a false start, you get Noah Brown, and you get that. Like, bruh, you at home. You know the sound cap. We got this play on one. Ready, break. That, bruh, how? Why?
Yeah.
Because you're not focused. And that gets you beat. Inconsistent play.
Yep.
The inconsistency of coming out and not taking an opponent serious enough to start the game. Leaving an opponent, like, giving them confidence. To get 2 turnovers early in the ball game. Now all of a sudden they start to feel good about ourselves. Hey, who knows? Maybe this is our day. We didn't know, but guess what? You start playing, and then all of a sudden good things start to happen for you when you're an undermanned team. You look at Dak in the first half, Skip, I don't know if he's going to be able to get away against a team like this in the playoffs. You go 10 of 16, 116 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns in the first half. That's going to probably be more. Tampa, I don't know if I don't know if you can give Tom Brady 2 turnovers in the first half.
Agreed.
And him not make you pay the ultimate price, which is defeat. So, and Skip, I get it. Dak said they asked Dak on the penalty, said the win is a win. It was against a division opponent, and sometimes that's all that matters. Nah, Dak, because when you start looking, and I've said this last year, bro, these penalties gonna come back to bite you.
They will.
Then when they come back to bite you, no, correct it. Never accept anything in a win you wouldn't in a loss.
I agree.
Had you lost this game, would you have been okay with 13 penalties?
No.
Would you have been okay with 2 turnovers?
Yeah.
No, you would not have had. Clean this thing up so it doesn't bite you in the butt later.
Okay, I got you. To amplify on your Dak response, he did say later in the same interview, why was it different in the second half? He said, we stopped stepping on our own toes, making self-inflicted mistakes. We didn't turn the ball over. We were able to get into our rhythm. Penalties are rhythm killers too. What happened
in Green Bay?
At Green Bay, what happened?
You get a 9-yard run. You get a 17-yard run.
You had a rookie wide receiver. I don't even know why he was in the game. He lines up 2 yards off sides. What are you doing? And then you get a holding call on what's really a backup left guard playing.
Right.
And then yesterday, there were a couple of penalties on the rookie left tackle who last year at the University of Tulsa University, led the entire nation in getting penalized.
Right.
So what do you think his MO is going to be as he translates into pro football? He's going to clutch and grab, and he got beat. He had an assignment problem yesterday where he had 2 to block, and they screwed it completely up, and he just tackles the guy so he doesn't tackle Dak.
Right.
Okay, I get it. And he's been a godsend, has Tyler Smith been at left tackle, and maybe as he segues with Tyron Smith coming back at left tackle, as he's Hall of Fame bound, maybe he won't have to clutch and grab quite as much when you leave the island that is left
and you
tackle.
won't be able to see it because you're more inside.
Okay, I got it. But I got to tell you, this does horrify me as a lifelong diehard Cowboy fan because I've been through it. I covered Tom Landry's teams, and I covered Jimmy Johnson's teams. Shannon, it was night and day. Because the locker rooms lived in fear of God's coach, Tom Landry, lived in fear of getting called into his office because, listen, those film sessions with him, remember the old Cowboys, we go back to the 60s, they're taking drugs to be able to withstand the film sessions because he would skewer people in front of the group because they would watch the tape as a group, as the whole team. And then Jimmy, are you kidding me?
Jimmy cutting folks.
Hey, he's cutting folks. He's cutting folks. And listen, they lived in fear of Jimmy even showing his face in the locker room, because if he walked through the locker room, which was rare, because
everybody got quiet.
Hey, everybody's looking down like, don't come tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah, don't make eye contact.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's fear factor. They know that is not acceptable, that they will pay the price.
Yeah.
There will be consequences.
Right.
Which brings me to please drop the mic, McCarthy. Nobody fears him.
No. You can skip because they know he doesn't have any teeth.
Right.
Jerry has all the teeth. Jerry got the canines. Yes.
Toothless tiger over there. Bump on a log.
Yeah.
In fact, when he actually challenged the CD play that we just looked at on the back line of the end zone, I was like, somebody woke him up and he threw the red flag. Way to go, Mike. I loved it because it was challengeable to me.
Yes.
Okay, good. And occasionally he wakes up and says, let's go for it on 4th and 2 for our own 40-yard line, right?
That could have just hit Tony Pollard. Did you see Tony Pollard in the flat wide open for a touchdown skip? He's like, but he was trying to get CD a touchdown.
Right.
He was trying to get CD. CD been working for him all day.
And they've been working on their rapport.
Look at Pollard in the flat skip, right?
Please, thank you. Okay, got it. I still think he scored. I think he got his foot.
I think I would have gave him a touchdown skip.
Okay, I got it. The problem with Mike McCarthy is I don't know what he does. And if you can win in spite of or just sort of work around him, that's fine. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I just think he's completely overmatched. And unfortunately, he got so exposed in the hard knocks of 2 years ago when we got to see, quote unquote, him motivate. It was as lame and cliche ridden as I've ever seen. And you've heard you've listened to a lot of halftime speeches. And some of them work, and some of them just can't do it. You just tune them out.
But, Skip, you can say, okay, he's not motivational. Okay, fine, but he's a great offensive mind. But he doesn't call the plays.
Doesn't call the plays.
Well, he's a guy that's going to get the defense. He's going to have these guys in the right. But DQ called the plays. So now he doesn't motivate. He doesn't call offense. He doesn't call defense. Bones run the special teams. So basically, he's just the figurehead. He's just standing up there looking.
He's got one job to answer to Jerry, right?
Yeah.
His job is to keep Jerry happy.
Right.
If they meet on Friday for a little beer and nachos, you got to tell him what he wants to hear. If he tells you we need to run Dak more, you better run Dak more.
Yeah, well, you know where he got that from. Jerry got that from Al, because Al Davis rested his soul. Al, you had to give Al the script so he know what was going on in practice. And then you had to, he watched the film of the practice, and then he'll let you because a lot of times when they wanted to put plays in, they didn't want him to know, they wouldn't even put it in there. They just leave it out. They edit it out.
Okay, I've told you before, I was there in 1989, Jerry's first year, wrote a book about it. Al taught Jerry everything he knows about this. Al took Jerry under his wing, and it's a wing, man, because he was a real live football coach in the American Football League, and also a GM and an owner and a commissioner. He did the whole thing, so he knew from the bottom up how to run a football team, including how to coach. And his big mantra to Jerry was, you have to coach the coach. Well, Jerry never coached.
But also the thing was, Skip, Al was never afraid to take on the NFL. All the other owners say, look, we in this thing together. Okay, so we all do this. We all making 10%. We're good with that. Jerry said, no. I don't want to do the deal with Nike. I don't want to do the deal with Coca-Cola. I want Pepsi. I want Michelob Dry.
He did.
So Jerry, Jerry, no, because I can do a better job than you. And then when he still got it in for Roger Goodell, because Roger suspended Zeke, and he believed that Zeke was the key to what they could have done that year.
2017.
So he still, every time he still got a bone to pick with Roger about this.
He does.
And so don't think he won't go to war with the NFL like Al did. Basically, his whole career. He sued the move from Oakland to L.A. He sued the move from L.A. back to Oakland.
He did.
So Al didn't care.
All right, so back to the premise. It has to come from leaders in the locker room. Somebody else has to just lay down the law, because even CD had a penalty yesterday where you just forgot the snap count. You just stop.
Noah Brown got what too.
And then they look around like, what am I doing? Are they afraid somebody's going to hold their feet to the fire on this? Are they going to get fined for it? No. So, again, we're going to have to rise above and win in spite of not only our coach, but also our general manager. Right?
Well, Mike, them penalties.